In this video, I'm going to show you 5 critical mistakes that beginners make in SolidWorks and how to avoid them. Now, before we start, if you want access to my free course about sketching, part modeling, assembly, drawing, surfacing sheet metal, and finite element analysis, just click the link below and you get a free access to this course. The first one is overusing dimensions instead of relations. So let me show you. So we can create a simple sketch. And let's just create something like this. Like this. So now instead of, for example, if you have to put smart dimensions here, you can put that the length of this line will be 40, right? And now if this line has to be 40 as well, you don't go here and make it 40, right? Usually people go here and make it 40, but you don't want to do that. What you want to do is you want to use the relation. So let me show you. So you click on this line, hold Control and click on this line. And then here you have relations: horizontal, vertical, collinear, perpendicular, parallel, equal, and fix. So what we're going to use is equal, like this. And now we know if we change this dimension, for example, to 50, this dimension here is automatically changed because we have relation equal. As you can see, this little green sign, right? And the same thing, like, for example, if we create something new here, let's say a line like this, and we want to make sure that this line here is parallel to this line here, right? Instead of creating an angle here using smart dimension, we can just take this one and go parallel, like this. And this way we don't have to use too much of smart dimensions. Also, you have here, just to show you, so also you have horizontal, if you want that the line will be horizontal, vertical, collinear, perpendicular, and parallel. For example, we can use perpendicular if I create something like this, and I want that this line will be perpendicular to this one. Instead of me using smart dimension and putting 90 degrees, what I'm going to do, I'm going to click on this one, hold Control this one, and I'll go with perpendicular, like this, right? And now I have all of these relations. So that's the first mistake beginners do, and this is how you can avoid them. The second mistakes beginners do, it's what I've done here on purpose, is not paying attention to the origin, right? They just start randomly creating a sketch. And I've done that on purpose, just start creating a sketch without paying attention to the origin. You always want to pay attention to the origin and then create a sketch relative to the origin, right? Because this way, the sketch will be fixed. Now, first you have to know what kind of object you want to create, right? What kind of model you want to create. And then you have to know, okay, where I have to create a fixed part, right? So for example, so what I can do, I can say this point will be in origin. So I can click here and origin, and I can go here with coincident, like this, right? Now I have this relation. And okay, let me just move this, make it like this. Yeah, so this is what you want to pay attention to, because if you don't fix your sketch relative to the origin, everything will be messed. If you're going to change some dimension later, then the sketch will break. So that's the second mistake beginners do make, and this is how you can avoid them. Just pay attention when you start creating a sketch, pay attention to the origin. The third mistake is not fully defining the sketch. So as you can see here, we have underdefined. And these black lines means they are defined, but this blue line means they're not defined, right? So we have to fully define. We have to add enough relations and enough dimensions so that all sketch will be in black, right? So you can do this step by step and just put in dimension, put in relations. Or also what you can do here, you can go here to add relations, and then here I have add relation, display, delete relation, or fully defined sketch. I can go fully defined sketch, and I can choose here, select entities or all entities in the sketch, and also I can include relations and dimensions, and I can just click OK. And now the sketch is fully defined. As you see, everything is in black. Dimensions are added that are needed to add it, and relations as well. And also I have here fully defined. So that means we are ready to use this sketch and start building 3D model. Now, what can happen here if you put too many dimensions? For example, if I choose now and put a dimension here, what happened is these become yellow. And now I have a question here. Do we want to make this dimension driven or leave this dimension driving? So that means, do you want to make this dimension to be main? If I say, yeah, I want to keep this to be main, then what's going to happen? It says over-defined sketch. This is also not good, right? So we have the yellow color now. What you want to do is, if you put another dimension, then you want to make it driven, right? That means it's not main dimension. Let me show you. You put it like this, make this dimension driven, and now sketch is fully defined. As you can see, it's a gray color. And this is if you need this dimension for yourself, that you know that this line is this dimension, right? But then make this dimension driven. So that's the second mistake that beginners do, not fully defining the sketch, and this is how you can avoid it. Second mistake that people do, they just create a sketches on the faces. They don't use reference geometry. And what I mean here, reference geometry, mostly I mean on the planes, right? You want to create new planes because it's going to be much easier for you to create a sketch and to create a model that you want to create. So instead of just using these faces to create a sketch, you can use here, if you go to reference geometry, you have here many options, but the most important here is plane, right? And now you can put this plane wherever you want. For example, I want to put this plane to be parallel to this one on some distance. So that's what I can do. I can put this plane to be perpendicular, right? So I have to choose also this angle. For example, no, it's perpendicular. Or I can choose here angle. Instead of 90 degrees, I can say, let's put it 60 degrees. And now you can create a sketch here, right? Which is going to be much easier to build specific model, specific feature by using reference geometry planes than just using these faces here that you have. So you have here many ways how you can define this plane: parallel, perpendicular, coincident, under angle. You can also go flip offset to the other side, right? Then you have distance. So you can put three references: first, second, and third. So yeah, you want to use this reference geometry to make your life much easier. And the first one and the most important one here is plane. So you can have like this, right? Or you can have a new plane. Let's say we want to create this on the distance. Like this, you can use this on the distance. And now on these planes, you can create different sketches that you need to create your model in a much easier way. So yeah, that's the first mistake that beginners do, not using reference geometry, that can make your modeling much, much easier. And the fifth mistake is, this is maybe a little bit more advanced, is not reusing existing sketches. So let me show you. So a lot of people have existing sketch that they can reuse, but instead of that, they create a new sketch. And now you have here a lot of sketches, but you don't have to do that. So for example, we created here this sketch, right? Now I can use this sketch by multiple features. That means I can use this sketch with 5 different features. So let me show you. I click on this sketch. I go here to the extruded boss base, right? And I go here to the selected contours. I click here, and now I can select here the contour I want to extrude. And I can go here, let's go with 50, like this. And now as you can see, we used existing sketch. A lot of people will go on this face, create this sketch again. In this situation, you can save your time, you can save the memory of SolidWorks by using existing sketch. And now here, if we go to the boss extrude 2, we see we have a sketch 2 as we have a sketch 2 here, right? So you can reuse the existing sketch, save your time, and save also the memory, and make everything much, much more clear. So yeah, those are the top 5 mistakes that beginners make, and this is how you can avoid them. And if you want access to my free course, just click the link below and you can access to the mini course about part modeling, sketching, assembly, surfacing, sheet metal, and finite element analysis. See you in another video.